Good morning from the city of Ruse. Ruse is the 5th biggest city in Bulgaria. It's located on the banks of the natural border that is the Danube River. I hadn't plans to visit this city. My preferred destination was 3 train rides from Bucharest, and I'd heard that the trains in Bulgaria are not the most reliable. So I decided to spend 3 nights here, just break the journey down a little bit and not have the stress of missing a connection train. So because Ruse is not really a big tourist city, there are no hostels, so I've got my own apartment and it's pretty good. 2 single beds, double bed there, as you can see. I've made myself at home. £15 for the night. Just check out the bathroom. Everything works. Nice hot powerful shower. We've got aircon, it's very warm in here. Now the only problem is, there's no kitchen. I don't know how other people in this block live, because there are lots of apartments in this building that I'm guessing are similar to this, but all we've got is a microwave. Now that's not the end of the world, but the problem is, we've only got 1 plate, which I used last night for some chicken in cabbage and potatoes. There's no cutlery, so I had to eat my fingers. Now, that wasn't too bad, but what it does mean is that I've somehow got to eat my cereal with no bowl and no cutlery. Looks like I'm drinking my cereal today. Not sure that's going to work. Okay, that's happening. So I literally come out of my apartment and I'm basically walking straight into the Liberty Square, which is the kind of centre of the city. Now, I came out here last night and just around this corner is the Ruse City Hall, and it's wonderfully brutal. Just wait till you see this. So as soon as I got around the corner and saw this, I thought, oh, this looks interesting. Well, this is very typical of these kind of brutal architecture, to have either mosaics or things like this at the front of the building. I think there's another one just at the other side. Right here in the centre of Liberty Square, we have the Liberty Monument. That's a woman on top. She's pointing towards the liberators, which would come in over the Danube River. And she's protected by these lions. This one's protecting the liberty, and this one is breaking the chains of slavery. And this is what's known as the profit yielding building, which has been, in its history, a theatre, casino, library, art gallery and shopping centre. And there's some kind of protest going on over here. Thought I could hear music earlier on. Not exactly sure what they're protesting. It's been nearly 2 weeks since I last used my GoPro. The last time I saw you was in Deva in Romania, and since then I made my way back to Bucharest. So I spent some time in Sibiu again, and Brasov again, and Bucharest again. So I didn't do any filming because I've already been to those places. So this is the first time I've actually used my GoPro in about 10 days. So a little bit rusty. Maybe this is not the professional content that you've become used to. So just a short walk out of the main square, we have the State Opera House, Ruse. Built in 1949, and it's the place to come in Ruse if you want to see ballet and opera. And just next to it, I did see this last night, this church here, which does look very interesting from the outside. The name of this church is Sexaginta Prista. and it does look very small, but that's because the church is actually underground. So let's go and take a look. It feels very different to Romania, considering that it shares a border. It feels more like Ukraine, to be honest. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, whether there used to be an ice rink or something over the Christmas period. So this is Alexandrovska Street, which is probably the main street in the city, I think. See the 19th century buildings. It's a bit of a mix actually. We have this lovely ornate building here, and then right next to it we've got a quite ugly old thing. My next stop is called the Pantheon of National Heroes, and it's a temple, mausoleum, ossuary that contains the remains of 453 people who died during various wars. The war against the Ottoman Empire, people who volunteered in the Russian-Turkish war. So there's the remains of 453 people inside here. It doesn't look like it's going to be open. Well, there is a sign on it saying you must wear a mask, so who knows? No look. Just behind the ossuary and mausoleum is this tomb. And this is the tomb of Ivan Vida, who was responsible for averting a massacre of Bulgarian people by the Ottomans. There appears to be a number of graves in this area. Lots of little graves, but also quite a few tombs in this park. This is the city park. Oh, that is one complex tree. Just at the other side of the park, we've come across this Russian military graveyard. These are all people that died during World War II, 1944. This guy here is 20 years old, 17. He died in 1944, and he could have been alive today. He was born in 1927, so he would be very old, but what a waste. Just at the main entrance to Mladetsky Park is this huge monument to the Russian soldiers that liberated Ruse in 1944. I'm not sure what this place is, but it's certainly seen better days. GoPro. You want to say hello to YouTube?
Hello. What's your channel?
Global Treats. Global Treats. You speak good English. See you later, guys. Global Treats. T-R-E-A-T-S. I need all the subscribers I can get. So E-A-T-S. That's the one.
Dan, cities.
Say again? Yeah.
Okay.
But on the channel, I'm still in Chisinau in Moldova. So it'll be a lot. I've done all of Romania, so it'll be a long time before I put this up. But keep watching, you'll be on. Got myself a couple of new subscribers there. They'll be the youngest ones I've got, I think. Well, this is interesting. There's nothing on Google Maps about this. Now, archaeological discoveries have found that the city of Ruse has existed since at least 5,000 years BC. Not sure what this is. Probably a place where people certainly come and have a bit of a party. Maybe during the warmer days. I've just come out of this park and it's literally brought me out at the Danube River. And just on the banks of the Danube River is something called the National Transport Museum, which apparently is open. According to their website, it said from January 2022 it's open again. That's a strange place for a museum because, well, look, there's not much going on around here, but we are right on the banks of the Danube, so we will at least, even if the museum's not open, be able to look across and see Romania. Really hope they can't get out. Right, so this is the museum then. I don't know how to get in. Old train tracks, which I'm not sure, these are definitely not in use, but this one might be. So let's go and have a look at the Danube River and hopefully not freak out this girl. Hi. So just over there is Romania. This is the natural border between Romania and Bulgaria. Well, there are a couple more people heading down to this museum, so obviously it does get some people. It's the only transport museum in Bulgaria, as far as I know. 1966. Well, according to this, it says it's open. According to this, it says it's open. Told you to ring, that doesn't work. It's so annoying. The official website has information on visiting this place, and it says it's open throughout January from 9 to 5, Tuesday to Sunday. Today's Wednesday. It's about 1:30, and the whole place is locked up. Oh, hang on, there's a door over here. Maybe this is how we're getting. This doesn't look like the entrance to a museum. Hey, open?
What?
Museum.
What?
Museum. I tried like ringing, but no. I don't know if they're allowed to go in here. No. This is the most interesting part, and it's locked up. Look at this cute little thing. That was a bloody waste of time, to be honest. Museum was just dull. This is what I wanted to come to see. This is what I was hoping for, to be able to walk around and see all the old trains. I did ask if I could have a look outside, and she just said no. And also she saw the GoPro and said just photos, no filming. There's nothing, but trust me, you didn't miss anything. The Danube, which I'm walking alongside now, is the second longest river in Europe. It comes all the way from the Black Forest in Germany through Central and Southeastern Europe all the way down to the Black Sea. And I've walked along the banks of the Danube in many cities. Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest, Novi Sad, Belgrade, and now Ruse. River cruisers and land tours. I'm guessing they're not in action in January. There's no one around, but there's plenty of like benches and stuff, and I think this might be a little cafe or something. So I'm guessing during the summer months this place is a little bit busier. This beast. I'm just a few minutes away now from the old Roman ruins. I'm not sure what to expect when I get down here. I don't know if it's a paid thing or whether it's just some ruins. Well, this is it. Sexaginta Prista. Sexaginta was the name of Ruse back in the day, and it means 60 ships. The guy who I just bought a ticket from has just basically given me the history of the entire place, and just been chatting for about 10 minutes. This fortress, we're talking 2 millennia. Different parts of it were built at different times, and parts of it were destroyed and replaced. And he's just told me a story that some German tourists, they've actually got, it's a bit like a bunker, but it was actually a control room for the German military. And a few years ago, a German family came here, and the elder gentleman went straight to one specific place which had been kind of covered in whitewash, and he scratched it off and found his name. He'd wrote his name, he'd scratched his name into the wall during World War II, and then came back 60 years later to see if it was still there, and he found it. This is a photo from 1911 where they actually destroyed part of the fort to build the railway tracks and the port complex over here. It wasn't the first time that the fort had been destroyed. People obviously didn't care too much for the history in centuries gone by. The guy who sold me the ticket actually took part in the excavation of this site. He also explains that this place was actually used by a bishop, but they have no record of where the church or the basilica was during that time. There was another old Roman fortress about 800 meters away, he explained, but it was built over by a school during the communist period, so you can't see any of it. It's all been covered up. This part dates back to the Hellenistic period, and during excavations they found pottery and animal and human remains. This is where we are in Ruse, and all these other pink numbers are all different Roman sites following the path of the Danube. This was a centre for naval and military units that were established in the 1st century. All these orange ones are different wine regions. Many of these amphoras have been found on this site, and these were used to transport and store various liquids. So you had wine. This would hold up to 26 litres of wine. It explains how important wine was to the Romans, that even slaves were given 5 litres of wine per week. Garum, which is a salty fish sauce made of fish intestines, and it was used for seasoning food. And olive oil, 30 to 42 litres. It's used for food and also for light. Oh, this is what you were saying about the whitewashing. Wow. this place is because I don't know. The guy's trustworthy. He doesn't just suddenly slam the doors on me. Find my remains. 1,000 years. Who was this mysterious guy? That was pretty cool, actually. The guy who sold me the ticket was just bloody lovely. You could tell he was really passionate about it. Yeah, for 5 lei, which is about pretty much exactly £2. That was good. I enjoyed that. That was much better than the railway museum. Well, I appear to have come out on this square, which seems to be surrounded by museums. That one doesn't look very open. This one, the Econ Museum, does look open. This grand building is the Ruse Library. And it's great because you have this, and then right next to it you get this, again, horrible grey concrete building. Look at the contrast. Well, that glass of cereals that I drank earlier today starts to wear off. I need some food. And I did spot yesterday there was looked like some kind of Balkan grill just near their main square. So I might go and check that out. But there also appears to be some kind of bakery down here. So let's have a look at this. As you can see, I went for the bakery option. And this looks pretty amazing. Oh my god, I'm just going to get attacked by birds. 2 lei, so under £1. Bread is amazing. It tastes like freshly baked bread. Go away. I think I've found where I'm going to be eating next day. The bread's buttered. It's like it's got warm butter on it. I'm at the other side of the main square now. It's the first time I've been around here, and it seems to be quite lively, to be honest. Lots of bars and restaurants, nightclubs, and that's brought me right back to Liberty Square. So pretty much, I think, probably done most of the city. I've got another full day here, which I will just bugger off in a completely different direction. See a bit more of the city, away from the centre. It's been alright, to be honest. I think it's definitely a place worth checking out. Now, my apartment is just 2 minutes over there. There's a supermarket here, which I will need to go to at some point. Do I go now or do I go later? The tough decisions of a traveller. This is the grocery store that I came to last night. I was expecting a little market. It's actually decent size. And they sell all sorts. And they have hot food. And I have a microwave. So I might be in from here again then. Good morning from day 2 in Ruse. I'm heading to the bus station because I leave the city tomorrow and I need to find out, first of all, that there is a bus station, and secondly that the bus leaves at the time that it says it does online. The bus leaves at the same time today as what it does tomorrow, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to get there and see what the situation is. And the bus station is near the train station. Ruse train station is one of the main hubs in the country, and you wouldn't think so when you're inside it. So I'll go and let you have a look at what the train station's like. Well, this is the bus station. Well, that was dead easy. As soon as I got in there, some guy came and immediately started to help me find the platform. Now I'm pretty sure it was the same guy who was waiting for our train to pull in yesterday, and he was helping people with bags and stuff, and people give him a bit of change. So yeah, he basically took me to the platform, and it clearly says 1 o'clock. So now I know exactly where I need to be tomorrow. There was no one waiting for the bus, so I don't think there'll be any difficulties in it being full or anything like that. So all good to go. I can relax now. It's a 25-minute walk from my apartment, so tomorrow, fingers crossed, should run pretty smooth. This is the old train station. As you can see, this used to be some kind of, well, I don't know, to be honest. I was going to say restaurant, but that looks like some kind of training, like a gym or fighting school or something. Lots of art in the station, which is nice, but as you can see, it's very run down. For a place that's supposed to be one of the main transport hubs in Bulgaria, it's certainly seen better days. Anyway, let's go and have a look inside, see if it's any better. The inside of the station is quite nice actually, but when you come out, this is your first impressions of Ruse. Now straight away you can see this huge mosaic welcoming you to the city. So I was kind of impressed when I first turned up. I thought, oh wow, this is interesting. And this is the underpass to get to the other side of the main road. As you can see, this has definitely seen better days. Look at the roofs. These would have all been shops back in the day. I don't know why everything's closed now. There are one or two shops still open. I think there's a hairdresser's down here. This is a little cafe. Locals playing cards. I think this is a hairdresser's just here. Oh, there's someone in today. There was no one in there yesterday. At some point, I would imagine that Ruse used to get lots of tourists, because they wouldn't have all these shops here if no one was coming. When and why did people stop coming to Ruse? When you first come into the city, if you come into the train station, you kind of get the impression of a city that used to be more visited and more looked after than what it currently is. The train station on the outside is it's a big beautiful old building, but it's just been left, and the facilities and, you know, the underpass to give you access to the city are just horrible. And I'm not sure why it's like that. Did Ruse used to be a popular tourist destination that's just fallen on bad times? I don't know. I have enjoyed Ruse, to be honest. There's some cities that you visit that are not touristy. You kind of get there and you understand why they're not touristy, because there's just nothing of any great interest there. They're just cities. Ruse has got enough to keep you interested for you know, a day or two. I had a good day yesterday wandering around. I pretty much saw everything. There are a few museums that I was thinking about going to. There's a couple of art galleries. There's an eco museum. There's a history, a Ruse history museum. I'm not sure whether I can be bothered. And that's it for my time in Ruse, which has actually been pretty cool 3 days. It always helps when you have a nice apartment and you find a nice bar and a nice coffee shop. You could pretty much come here and do everything in one day. It's not a massive amount to do. We have a couple of day trips, which are possibilities. So now I'm back at the bus stop and I've got 45 minutes wait from a bus, but I'm hoping that I can get some food and maybe even a cheeky little coffee before my bus arrives. I mean, it is a station, so I would have thought that there will be food options. So, fingers crossed, because I'm not eating anything. And this is where I'm going. Veliko Tarnovo. 40 minutes wait for the bus. So I do have some food, at least. Whatever that is.